Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Smith of the Black Quantity GTF here, T3 Live with this week's market wrap. And all the chatter is new highs, new highs, new highs. Let's take a look. Sometimes it's not so easy because you got such a creeper mover. If we go to SPY here, you can see SPY. Yay, everybody's real happy, right? Just a creep, 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 and then stop them out a little bit yesterday and then blast them right back to the highs. QQQ. Not as fortunate, at least today. As you can see here, let me blow it up for you. Such the creep, 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 and then stop them out and just come back up into this range. The real thing here, and the small cappers, like I said, has been really doing nothing here last week. And so you can see this is still really tight in here. But the story's really been the Dow Jones and the industrials. A lot of strength over there, and we're just finishing off and still going towards the highs. And so one of the good things about this is that it can help direct where you want to be trading, and especially in this low volatility environment. So when you see the Dow just powering like that, another thing we can look at is XLI, and that's the industrial spider. You can see how strong that was today, and the reason being, you got GE in there, and GE also in the Dow. And so when that gapped in reverse, and I put out the gapper list in the morning, that tells us where we might want to be in the industrials. There's only 30 stocks in the Dow to keep an eye on. And so here, if you're just taking inside 30, here like this, you can get in on that. Hammer counter shooter is another significant entry point right in here. So there's a lot of entry points to get in on this, which was real nice. And like I said, if you just go through the 30, when you're seeing this kind of strength, it's like during the week, we could see a lot of good weekly stuff to go after. You'd say, all right, I'm going to go after a Walmart, or Travelers have been nice, and IBM off the gapper. And IBM, even on the weekly, daily here, inside day to the upside. So obviously that was an earnings gap, but you got Boeing, and you can go through all that stuff. Goldman Sachs coming back off the inside day like that. Also, what that helps you to do is, like when people are trying to short things that are ripping like this, ideally you want to short things that are going down. And so if you just go through the 30 and go, I wonder what I should short in there. Procter & Gamble, all right? Procter & Gamble comes out in tanks, all right? So being able to know and identify where you want to be is important. And so for next week, we can take a look at Disney, which is neutral. Disney goes inside weak, like this. So I want to see if Disney starts to participate in the industrial rallies coming up in here in the Dow. We got a lot of earnings coming out too. But another thing that you can look for is when the SPY does this, and the market does this like yesterday. Oops. Here, and you get that opening tank and then starts rallying back. There's ways in here, sure, and there's a momentum hammer 30 in the S&P, but what's easier to look for, just like when the market's going up, looking for something like Procter that's going down, when it gaps down like this, immediately when it starts recovering, we want to look at anything taking out yesterday's highs, right? And so immediately yesterday, you had the home builders just start ripping to the highs, ITB, here, right there. Big gap down in the market, and as soon as it recovers, bam, straight up. And even Disney, to a certain extent, on the daily, here, yesterday, gaps down as soon as it takes out yesterday's highs. Because the participants that are involved in these things, if you're short, you got what you wanted. The market tanked, right? But then as soon as it recovers, your stock didn't. And so we know where the stops go. Here and here, see you later, take them out. Another thing that's important, too, is to know what's in certain ETFs to look at the divergences. So if you look at IBB, we know Celgene getting hit a little bit here. IBB dropping for the week, right? Here, coming in. But then if you go to similar, XLV goes up. That's a one-bar ref strat to the highs. And so they're similar, but then if you know what's in there, first of all, Dow Jones, you got Johnson & Johnson there. That's Dow Jones and XLV, and UNH, which is not in IBB, going straight up, and which also tells you to look at the HMOs. So being able to know on which to look at and where to go when things are slow and when things are moving. So, as we come into, like on the end of the week, whenever we come into like highs like this, we do have earnings next week, and we got the exhaustion at the end of the month. So we're going to stay on that because of the industrials. Next week we've got Triple M and Cat Tractor, I believe, coming out. So there's two of those that'll tell us some more about the Dow Jones. You got AMD, Halliburton in the oils, and I talked about some of those broadening formations in the oils, and here's Schlumberger, and you can see how it just goes almost to the tick. And so what's important to understand about this when I show people broadening formations is that you don't have to try and top tick it and get it down here, and you don't have to bottom tick it and take it up here. Once you can identify a range expansion like this, lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high, what you can do is you wait for it to start moving back through it, because the reason that this occurs is that there's going to be people stopped against obvious pivots. So when it starts moving back down, it's going to take them out, them out, them out, them out, then gone, right? And then on the way back up, it'll take these guys, and then it comes up in here, and you can see the biggest move. You don't have to top tick it. Once it starts coming through here, you're going after that, and that, and take them all out in one shot. And that's how these things start to get bigger. So, yeah, we're going to stay on these earnings. I mean, so far, strong, and Q's stall out a little bit. We'll see if the fangers pick up. But certainly watching those earnings, and in this environment, who's going to new lows every day. VXX still doing its job since inception, still a puker. We love it. So you want to be able to stay on that as well. All right, so I hope everybody had a great week, has an even better weekend. I'll be back next weekend, or next Friday right here, and I'm on the VTF all day. You can also follow me on Twitter at RobInTheBlack, all one word, and I tweet out a lot of the setups and certainly the gap list in the morning so you can be ready for the start off your day. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'll see you when I see you. I'm Rob Smith in the Black Quantity VTF here at T3 Live with this week's Market Wrap-Up.